tuopsy. The Rosneft refinery is on fire. This is not one fire. This is a campaign. Stay with me because what these fires mean for Russia's war economy, what the drones reveal about its national air defense, and what this signals for the next phase of infrastructure warfare is the story that requires telling. Ryazan, hit. Kostovo, hit. Kirishi, hit. These are not random targets. This is a systemic deconstruction of Russia's ability to fuel itself and its war. The attacks are happening hundreds of kilometers inside Russia. Russia is the world's second largest oil exporter. Its network of refineries is a vast, integrated system, the circulatory system of the state. This system generates billions in revenue, funding the military and subsidizing the domestic economy. But that integration is a double-edged sword. The efficiency that powers the state in peacetime is the same vulnerability that ensures its collapse under attack. At the heart of each refinery is a specific, critical vulnerability: the distillation column. Destroy this, and you don't just damage the refinery, you kill it. Let's talk about the weapon. This is not a multi-million-dollar cruise missile. It's a low-cost, long-range, unmanned aerial vehicle with a range of over 1,000 kilometers. It flies low and slow with a small radar cross-section, making it difficult for traditional air defense systems to track. The warhead is small, perhaps 20 to 50 kilograms. But it's not about the size of the explosion. It is about precision, hitting the one component that is nearly impossible to replace. The technology is complex, often sourced from Western companies like UOP and Axons. Those supply chains are now severed. Let's talk about the defensive gap. Russia possesses one of the world's most formidable layered air defense networks. The S-400 for high-altitude threats, the Buk for medium altitude, the Pantsir for point defense. But these systems were designed to stop fighter jets and ballistic missiles, not swarms of slow, low-flying drones. And every operational battery is a choice. Protect Moscow, protect the front line, protect the nuclear bases. You cannot protect everything. Every prioritization decision produces a coverage gap, and Ukraine is exploiting those gaps with brutal efficiency. This forces an impossible choice. Pull back air defense from the front lines to protect the rear, or leave your economic heartland vulnerable to systemic destruction. There is no correct answer. Both trajectories lead to collapse. Let's talk about the Cascade. By late March, the attacks had taken at least 14% of Russia's total refining capacity offline. The first consequence is a surge in domestic fuel prices. For the first time in the war, the conflict is being felt directly by ordinary Russians in cities thousands of kilometers from the front. The social contract, cheap fuel for political silence, is breaking. The next cascade is agricultural. These attacks coincide with the spring planting season. No diesel for tractors means the harvest is at risk. A food crisis of Russia's own making, caused by a war it started. Then, the military cascade. The Russian military is a logistics-heavy force, dependent on vast quantities of diesel for its tanks, trucks, and trains. As domestic supplies tighten, the military must compete with the civilian economy for fuel. Every liter sent to the front is a liter taken from a farm or a city. The system begins to eat itself. The final domino is political. On March 1st, Russia announced a 6-month ban on gasoline exports. Not a choice, a necessity. They are sacrificing export revenue, the very money funding the war, to prevent a domestic collapse. The campaign is forced a target to inflict economic damage on itself. This is the essence of successful infrastructure warfare. The United States is reportedly asking Ukraine to stop. They fear rising global oil prices. But for Ukraine, this is not about global markets. This is about national survival. Here is what this campaign means from this morning forward. It means Russia's strategic depth, its greatest historical advantage, is now a liability. It means the economic engine of its war has been successfully identified and targeted. And it means a new form of attrition has begun, not of soldiers on the battlefield, but of critical infrastructure in the homeland. The calculus of war has been fundamentally altered. Victory is no longer just about territorial gain. It is about systemic collapse. The question is no longer if the Russian war economy can be broken. The question is, what happens the day after it is? The repairs will take months, perhaps years. The strategic damage is permanent. Tuopsy. The fire is out. The capacity is gone.